Hi, Gayle Fuguitt, President and CEO of the Advertising Research Foundation, here with Ed Brojerdi.
Hello, I am Ed Brojerdi, CEO of KBS US, and I'm very excited to be here in Cannes with my friends here from ARF.
You know, I was kind of reading up on you a little bit, and creative tech kept coming up. Riff on that a little bit.
Creative technology was really the term that came about in this sort of post-digital, for many years, and to today. I would say about a decade ago, creative technology started emerging as a bit of a refinement of the language.
Yeah.
And it was truly that it was the marriage of classic creative concepting and ideation, married to emerging platforms and technology.
How does that help you be a better CEO?
In any industry, technology is almost becoming core hygiene. One of the things I heard recently was in the future, we're going to start using the word technology instead of the word business. And I think everything is tech-based going forward.
Yeah, you're on a panel on VR.
Correct.
And you're going to touch on AR too?
AR is interesting. AR is already in our lives in many ways. I think VR is still in its early days, but it's getting pretty good pretty quick. I think a big topic for us is when to really use virtual reality. When is VR the right thing to be utilizing?
When is it?
When there are new emerging platforms. That's sort of the natural thing for many people to do, is just take what they were doing in another channel and port it over. And I think very quickly folks are real, that's not the best use case, you know, and I think for VR there are great, amazing opportunities,
How good will consumers be at picking and choosing their screen?
I think consumers in many ways always lead the charge. VR is great for gaming, it's great for immersing yourself in an experience that you can't physically attend. When brands or organizations or agencies, companies attempt to do it wrong or attempt to do it in a way that's not natural to consumer behavior, it sticks out and people won't use it.
Marketing jobs, advertising jobs, research jobs are being reinvented and redefined.
Absolutely.
How do you see that?
I don't feel it's necessary drastic sea change every time. Something new emerges, the old goes away. Some of the traditional classic mediums are still just as valuable. They're continuing to get refined, and you're seeing the craft elevate. So I think you just really need to tap into the best way to execute across the right channel for your right company brand.
Your clients taking very different approaches?
One of the common themes and part of our business strategy is to help modernize our partners, our clients and companies. So we attempt to go in, identify where they are, and just properly walk them forward. I think what's happening in the marketplace, we're all now not getting so caught up in the new necessarily, but it's what's new and what is appropriate to match to our objective here.
It reminds me so much of your Belonging project. Will you just talk about the inspiration of that?
Folks taking the impetus to come forward, attempting to bring forward great compelling ideas within the organization, and that's what that series was. A few folks in the agency came forward and said, we'd love to leverage our new content capabilities, some of the equipment we have, and go feature this artist, Bradley Theodore, and tell his story, and tell the story of how he became an artist. Very few folks talk about how someone becomes an artist or a creative, and that was really the idea, is deconstructing what it means to be an artist. But what's great is when you do a film like that, for all our existing partners, for potential prospects, they can see the way we go about telling that story and how we created that film.
How did you become this?
Sure. I did a little bit of everything. My career path was attempting to not lock myself into an individual thing. And the other big aspect of it is really having that entrepreneurial instinct a little bit and desiring to make something for yourself. So the advice I would give to anyone who asks that is, maybe not have such a rigid or defined track. I don't prescribe to the theory of you got to do one specific thing for 30 years to really become good at it. I think you actually have to do a lot of things to become pretty good at that one thing.
What were your drivers?
I'm a big believer in doing good for the world and doing right by our clients and partners. We have to attempt to spend as much of our time and our resources in doing programs that help benefit society, the world, and communities. One of the recent wins we had was starting to work with the Save the Children Foundation. Big or small, we don't all have the ability to do those things, but it could be helping a specific company that you're working with get an objective done that's going to allow them to hire more people. You could present one of a million different ideas. Why shouldn't some of the ideas be things that actually make the world a better place in any magnitude? And back to our initial discussion around technology and creative technology, technology is helping catalyze that. So yeah, I think that's something we all should be doing as an industry, especially the leaders of this industry and those fearless leaders.
How do we represent consumers the way they really are.
We really encourage our brands to display their true values, and what's really encouraging is there's a lot of amazing things that organizations are doing, and sometimes they're just not putting that out in the world.
I agree.
Right? Because they feel consumers want to hear something else, and no, they actually want to hear about those things. Patagonia had this amazing campaign for Black Friday, which was "Don't buy this shirt." This is a company that their revenue is derived from selling clothing. And they kind of acknowledge that, hey, you probably don't need this extra shirt. Come in and fix your old one. I love things like that. And you know what,
that too.
Right? And what it does is you actually go, you know what, I am going to go buy that shirt. Yeah, exactly. And the authenticity for me is directly linked to purpose. People want to aspire to something. It helps motivate, and that aspiration is great, but you don't want it to be artificial aspiration. You want it to be authentic aspiration. Here's where I am today. Here's where I really want to be. And what companies or brands do I want to associate to that I feel are going to help me get there?
What's the watchword for the next 5 years?
I think this notion of synthesis is an interesting one. And the big thing that kept coming up is AI. AI is going to really
be constructive.
Big time. And I think it's going to radically change our industry again. The role of humans are going to change in our industry and many industries.
Thank you so very much.
I'm very humbled by you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.